Hi, I'm Paul Feig, and welcome to the making of Spy.
Just to work with Paul was a big thing for me. And if you're going to, step into an area that you're not too familiar with, you may as well do it with the best of the best.
He makes you feel very quickly like you're there because he wants you there and because he trusts you. And so that kind of confidence that a director has in you is really beneficial to giving him what he wants.
Melissa, try the one you pitched. That was weird.
It was weird. He really roots for everybody to do their best possible performance. And he's so encouraging that everybody does really rise up to what he thinks you can do. And that's a pretty fun day at work.
What's the secret? Huh? What's it, buddy? Oh, you pissed and shit on me.
Oh my God. He likes you.
Sorry. He's claimed me as his own.
I love to get the input of all my actors because what I don't want is to just shoot the lines that we have in the script. I want to have alternate jokes and I want to dig deeper into the characters. I want to see where people's heads are at. And so nothing makes me happier when somebody says, oh, hey, Paul, can I try one? I have an idea. I'm like, go for it.
He got that thin, bony leg up in places. And I had to watch those fucking tapes. And that's a horror show. You're not supposed to. I've seen him put his foot in things. It's a constant creative collaboration. There truly is no bad idea. Like, we try everything, because you never know.
I think, he's very good at judging when people are comfortable. And when they are, that's when he starts to play with the words with you. And he's wonderful, and he asks for your input, and it feels truly collaborative.
So much develops with him on set. And I think he was sweetly sort of said when me and Melissa first did a scene together, he was like, it was all that I hoped for. Which was like, oh.
Well-behaved women often make history.
Yes, you do know the phrases. Well-behaved women seldom make history.
Yeah, that's never how she said it.
What were her others?
If first you don't succeed, try something else.
Yeah. Or what about her? Susan, if at first you don't succeed, stop.
And now you've already gone to your favorite list.
Yeah. My favourite, though. The classic. Susan, you can't do... I won't do the accent. Susan... I'm trapped behind a camera.
Oh, move on.
Because I'm doing the offline. Susan can hear me in her ear. There is nothing in real life that someone could do to a spy that is filthier or more upsetting than what my brain will cook up right now. We've got alternative lines. The yellow is alternative jokes. Why are you humming? Is there something wrong? Are the perverts making you sing? Is that part of their profession? Where have you been? Are you humming code? I also operate the camera. Yeah, that's looking good. As you can see, the director's a big fan of my work. It was all a joke!
Anyway, so. a director, I like to get a lot of alternate material and really just cover myself with a lot of coverage, and that even extends to a stills shoot.
Oh my God.
When I wrote that part, I knew there's really only one man for the role. Let's just say his properties speak for themselves. He could have a career in many types of film, let's just say, and so he gray stars.
Well, I mean, God, you just have to inhibit your character, and when you are given such a nice piece of equipment to work with, it just goes quite naturally. No, it's not my real penis. It's actually attached to some shorts. It's got some nice fake pubes here. Clearly, my character is really proud of his member, and so he takes lots of pictures of it. And so we just found some really nice spots, some quite artistic places, just to show his full potential. Yeah, it's my new friend, and I'm keeping it.
It's like those movies when they show like in Hollywood and like walking around the back lot and there's like an astronaut. And there's just a man with his dick out walking around.
You hear him laughing. Like in the middle of a take, you literally hear like, ha! And you're like, Paul, you're ruining the take. Sorry, go ahead.
He's really the best audience because he laughs a lot. That's a good sign when you're shooting a comedy when the director's laughing.
Hello, bound lady.
And now, Aldo.
I came to set, and then he said, okay, right, sit down, put your hands behind your back, and I had my hands tied up with rope, and turning over, and I was like, oh my God.
If we were naked, this would feel amazing.
If we were naked, this would feel amazing.
Stick, besides Mr. Peanut. So that's who I base my character on, a little bit of Paul Feig and a little Mr. Peanut. I'm surprised I don't have a monocle.
I love pictures of old Hollywood, and you would see all the directors and the crew, too, in suits and ties. And I just like the look of that.
I've never met a smarter individual. I didn't know that he appeared impeccable every day. I thought there'd be a, one sloppy day, but no. I mean, I just think it really suits him, and he wears it so well.
He's a bit of a dandy, and he's got lots of these amazing, immaculate suits, all these tailor-made Savile Row suits. And this one is actually from Savile Row. It's Chester Berry.
The specifics of what and how he saw fine dressed were clearly from someone who appreciated the finer details of, making oneself look smart.
Yeah, Paul don't be bullshitting, man. He come in here, he know exactly what he want. He come dressed for success, baby. Motherfucker look like Buddy. He come in, I'm like, goddamn. So this how you do it? Every day, huh? Non-stop, huh? Suit, 3-piece. He ain't even gonna leave a piece out.
What else can you say about Paul? He just always looks so incredibly immaculate and everything. And I just wonder how many suits there actually are. Who knows? I think the question was asked of him yesterday, where could he go now after Canes? And I think his word was capes. So I think he's been thinking about it.
I'll be stealing this car now.
last thing I want is somebody to show up on set and just read the lines that we gave them. I love to get ideas from people. I love to hear what they have to say, and nothing makes me happier when they go, hey, I got an idea. I'm like, try it.
I said to Paul, wouldn't it be funny if all the girls in the movie got pregnant with Rick Ford's baby? And he said it'd be very difficult to put that on screen, but...
Wait, we didn't do that? Gosh, I swear we did that.
Yeah, I've pitched a really strong idea for the ending of the movie, actually. We dive in to the lake and come up with dolphin masks and do a sort of routine, and you just get a bit of kind of undulation in the water. What's more beautiful and free than a dolphin? Nothing.
Yeah, that lake was way colder than it looked.
I like it. I think he's thinking about it.
That's simply not the case.
I thought maybe I would pitch to Paul that my character would have a case of Tourette's, so that there would be intermittent periods where this stony, silent Chechnyan would just burst into song.
Oh gosh, you know, I did write that down, and then I lost the notepad, I think.
Maybe Raina had just like a pet parrot on her shoulder the whole time. We could bring the bird handler in. Be really easy.
Sadly, I have this horrible, debilitating allergy to parrots. Otherwise, that would have been a great idea.
But I think it would have accessorized quite well with the hair and the outfit. But next time.
When Fine's been injured, I thought that'd be quite good in the sequel if Fine is the villain, you see. And he's lost his arm, so he can have a metal arm and he can be a morphine-addled bad guy.
Sadly, the bionic arm supplier in Hungary let us down.
Well, he didn't say no.
Sometimes there's just great, great ideas that you have to let go.
You know, I thought at one point it'd be kind of cool if we sort of saw him from the waist up, you know, and then maybe 3/4 of the way through the film, he didn't have pants on.
Oh my God, such a great idea. But the censors would just censor it. That's what censors do.
And then Paul came back at me with, well, what if he has a cigarette holder? And then I thought, well, monocle. We haven't seen that in a while. And I think Paul really did think about that one.
Yeah, Bob Yeoman, our director of photography, he really freaked out about the whole monocle things. Something to do with reflections, I don't know. So we had to lose it. It's really sad.
I would pitch that Aldo has his cock out for the entire movie. And fully erect.
Yeah, censors again. Censors.
I think he's going to go for it and add it in post, CG.
I mean, sadly, you can't include everybody's ideas. So I kind of feel like if you can't include everybody's ideas, you should pretty much include nobody's ideas, which is kind of what we went with in the end.
What the fuck are you doing in here, asshole? You're coming with me. Yeah! I'm going to fucking fuck. You're your fucking teacher. Ain't nobody orders me around, so get the fuck out of my way. Or quit.
Did you forget I am undercover? Because you're not supposed to be here.
Well, I make a habit of doing things that people say I can't do. Walk through fire, water ski blindfolded, take up piano at a late...
He called me, he goes, so, mate, are you gonna go do that spy movie? And I was like, fuck yeah, bro. I said, and you are too, right? He goes, yeah, mate, we're gonna do it. I like that Paul guy.
Jason Statham is a god who walks among us. I've been a fan of his from day one. I mean, the first time I saw him in Lock, Stock, I was like, that guy's great. He's funny and this and that. And so I was like, I gotta get him to do comedy. And I kind of, over the years, was like, what was it gonna be? And so when I was writing the script, I knew I needed this rival spy who was kind of over testosterone. It was like, this has to be Statham.
Was it your mission to tip off the target so he burns everything in advance? If so, well done. Phenomenal job. I mean, I've done sort of black comedies with Guy Ritchie, but not full-on, you know, rib ticklers like this one is. Too dangerous. We're the fucking CIA, not a bunch of school crossing guards. I've swallowed enough microchips and shit them back out again, enough to make a fucking computer.
We all kind of know him as being this really tough guy and a guy who, you know, has kicked multitudes of ass.
It's what he does so brilliantly and has done so brilliantly in so many films, successful films. It just happens to be in a film that also has this wonderfully funny theme to it.
Glad you're still alive, Beverly. Oh! Fucking girly wanker. Sorry about that. Nice work, Cooper.
The highlight for me in this movie has been watching his journey. like, because I spend so much time with him on the road in different locations. To come here and watch him be the heel is one of the coolest experiences I've had.
My favorite moments in the movie, Jason commits so hardcore to being a total, well, let's not say idiot, let's say in that moment he has a wardrobe malfunction, if you will. He played it so great and is so willing to kind of have fun with his persona, so I couldn't be more thrilled about it.
There was a couple of scenes that changed and transformed into something much, much better for me. So, you know, you just have to go and trust with what Paul says.
Explain it to me, DeLuca!
He's incredibly prepared. He's always right there. And then Paul would be like, yeah, we're not actually going to say any of this. Can you say this? And then hand him an insane monologue that literally was like a 4-minute thing.
I can't remember that.
He just had the most fun doing these ridiculous lines that we gave him, and he went for it, and he didn't try to be funny, which that's the key to any comedy. Don't try to be funny, and he just nailed it.
All of a sudden, you get fed this new silly line, and it's, you know, it's in the middle of a take. It's very difficult to keep your composure, but at the same time, you know, that's the excitement of it.
How about looking like a guy George Clooney shoots hoops with?
You said both dislocated shoulders at the same time. I won't need it. I'm 99% sure I won't.
I don't break that easily, but when he delivers stuff so seriously and angry, it makes me laugh.
Fuck it, the Destroyer's fine. That's the best one.
He's on par with the best people in this movie, for sure. I mean, if he gets tired of smashing people, he'll be able to make them laugh, that's for sure. And I think he's gonna steal the show.
Because you look like a school teacher who won a trip to Italy on Wheel of Fortune. That's why. Thanks, soccer mum. What, you gonna drag your minivan to Paris?
I loop my way up to the cockpit!
What about the Jason Statham in a rom-com? Come on, what's... See, immediately you look at it and you just go, that's kind of a, oh, somebody should do that.
Finished?
Yeah.
Round 2.
All right. Just don't do that thing with your thumb again. I can't believe I said it! I hate myself for saying it!
This movie has fighting, car work, moped, motorcycle work, airplane work, helicopter work. I mean, we've pretty much got all of our action facets covered.
Paul's a big fan of action movies, and I didn't know this until I met him. You know, in his early years, he wanted to become a stuntman. And so we share an ambition that was way back then.
When I took the meeting with him, I'd shown him some previs from other shows that I've done, you know, and they were really hardcore, and he loved them. And I was really surprised in seeing that he was kind of an action geek like me, and Wally. I was like, this is a perfect storm for some really sick action.
Your 3 guests are coming out that door behind you right now. Watch your 6.
Yahtzee.
We're doing a fight sequence with Jude Law where his character Fine runs down a hallway shooting a couple guys, and then he gets into a centerpiece where we have multiple characters coming in for a piece of elaborate fight choreography that we designed where he's kicking ass, basically.
Jude Law blew my mind because he showed up and he nailed everything. I was so in awe, like I'd never seen anything like that. It was like Bruce Lee showed up on the set or something.
So yeah, it was quite an intense way to start. It was a good way to start though, because it kind of got me in the mood for this guy and what at the heart of him he was capable of doing.
He came in, I don't think with any training, and did that whole opening sequence on like a couple hours of training. So it's like, really?
He's very aware of what feels good, what looks good, so that just makes us and our job a little bit easier when you have an actor that's so willing and able to do some action the way that we designed it.
Here, watch your back. Oh, it was a close one, Fine.
Who's the finest of them all?
You are?
The next thing we had, immediately following the tunnel sequence, we go right to the kitchen. So it was kind of like, you know, my department was neck deep from the day we jumped off.
Paul and I came up with this idea that we're in this kind of enclosed boxing ring, if you will, and in the middle would be this enormous stove. And they're circling this stove, trying to get at one another. Paul said, I want as many scary weapon-like things in there that we can manage. So we hung a big pot rack over the same stove with all the knives and cleavers so that at any given time, someone can pull out a deadly weapon.
Just got to Budapest and it was like, okay, tomorrow we do the fight scene. I was like, what? That seems like a big one to start with.
The kitchen fight for me was the big test because I only met Melissa one day before. And we only had a day to practice, but she came in and she knew her spots. Her ability to learn and retain choreography she's as good as any action star out there. Her ability to hit a mark is outstanding. She did a lot of things in this movie I never would have imagined that she could do.
We were worried about lettuce and we were worried about, French bread. With a breadstick, one take and it's done. So I think we had about 100 breadsticks. Send half of that off to special effects because we had to put a solid rod on the inside of it so that the area that she was holding onto wouldn't break and disintegrate in her hands. We had to score that so that when she cuts through it with a knife, we get sort of a nice clean cut.
I kept hitting her hand with those pans. I really was clobbering her. Her hands really got it. At one point, I was like, I'm going to break 3 fingers, and I don't mean to, but it's going to happen.
She abused me. She got me good. I know she didn't mean it, but she gave me a good one with the pen, a really good one. And then she gave me a couple of good ones on my knuckles. So that was our first time meeting each other.
Oh, God. He went into a building.
I love doing stunts. I get excited about it because I trust the people I'm working with, but this is one where I was kind of like, oh man. They stacked an enormous amount of boxes. That's the big thing for stunt guys is they fall into cardboard boxes because then it slows you down but isn't like a firm, hard stop.
It's a good death, for sure. What do you think, Zoe?
I'm really excited and I'm looking forward to it. I want to nail it and it's going to look awesome.
He's trying to reach for me, but he's not really getting there. And I think he might fall, actually. I don't know what he's doing. It's probably a stunt thing.
He falls out of bed farther than that, bro. It's no big deal.
No!
He went off and he just punched through this one hole in all these boxes. And it was just like, oh my God, what happened? It was such a small hole that you went he must have landed head first.
You don't really feel it, the adrenaline is just rushing so hard that you just hit it hard, you're alive, and then you feel good.
It's not enough in the world of Spy that a man falls 200 feet to his death. He then must be thrown up on.
It was pretty gross, actually, because the vomit actually smelled like vomit, even though it was just carrots and, chicken soup and some other stuff. But I think they felt the need to make it as real as possible. While I was laying there, I thought this is going to probably make the history books of film, because I don't think it's ever been done before. It's going to be in one of those rundowns of 50 best death scenes ever, I hope.
Today we are going to do a zero-G performance with Rose and Stuart of the plane.
And his name isn't Stuart, though.
I've had a bunch of hemorrhoid wipes repeatedly thrown at my head and neck. This whole area has been doused with hemorrhoid wipes.
I don't know. I think there was a bit of joy from her to strike him in the face over and over again. I don't know what the relationship is. All I know is I love them both, and Mitch took several for the team.
Ow! Hey, Mitch, can you take one more in the face? I just want to set just for that last moment.
The flying part was really easy for me. I think it was much harder on Rose because I just had to do a lot of landing on her and just a lot of landing hard on Rose. I'm sorry, Rose. I didn't write the script.
Not again! Any idea what you're fucking doing?
I had a lot of body parts, hands, legs, balls, all over Rose Byrne. That's why I went to acting school.
This is by far the most physically challenging role I have ever had, because you read a little script that's maybe an eighth of a page, quarter of a page maybe, and it's like, oh, hanging from a helicopter, blah, blah. I didn't think about that equates to 3 days hanging from a helicopter.
I might have to go to the bathroom.
There's an aggressive movement of the helicopter while she's hanging on, and we did use Melissa to do all that. We start off gently, and we don't know how she's going to react, but she was really a trooper, and she did extremely well.
Bobby Cannavale and I were having all these crazy fistfights inside the helicopter, which is about this big inside. It's incredibly tiny, and everything is sharp and pokey. So it's just a lot of us trying to be tough, but then every once in a while you're just like, oh God, that really hurt. We're covered in bruises, but it was still pretty fun.
Yves DeBono and I have worked together often the past 4 years. I'm a big fan of his work, and his things are always the way that they say they're going to be. And in this scene right here, when the BMW cruised by and they lit it up, Yves had 30 hits, 30 big giant squibs in the car, blew out the windows, and then we dropped 2 300-pound windows on the side of the Four Seasons, which was pretty cool.
We took their windows out and we put ours in. I think we messed up their curtains a little bit though, but I think we end up buying those.
We did it in one take. We had an extra window, we had an extra car to blow, but we did it all in one, so someone's going to be driving around a car filled with explosives in the door. So there you go. You see it on the street, it's not my fault.
That looks high tech.
It's like the future.
Today we have what's called a jetpack flyer. Instead of a traditional jetpack, we're going to go with a flying briefcase Segway. One of our biggest challenges for this setup is that the Segway is quite heavy, so we have to do a couple of things to tether the Segway to the harness of the actor so that he's not carrying so much of the weight.
What the camera can't see is that there's 2 giant straps pushing against my testicles. He hired me because I'm really good with faces and can make, surprised or scared, sad, surprised. So one of those 3 I'll be using in today's shoot, so I don't want to spoil it for you right now. So stick around, we'll be right back with more I Can't Feel My Dick right now. I feel like Mary Poppins.
Hey Pat, does this flying thing make my ass look big? I always wanted to fly, and Paul Feig made it possible today.
Hey Pat, I'm flying. Yeah, I know. Get off of it right now.
Come on. I said, hey, I'd love to wear a gray suit and fly in Budapest, and he said, fine, but it's 3:30 in the morning, and how'd you get into my house? Can you put some clothes on? Pat, I'm gonna need some of those hemorrhoid wipes. That's the type of guy Paul Feig is. I was naked in his doorway, and he still gave me a part in his movie. I'm sorry. You can cut it.
I have my craziest stunts in this part of the movie for sure. Like I run through the streets, I dodge cars, which by the way got really close to me. Apparently the trick to making it look like you almost get hit by a car is to almost get hit by a car. And it was like slippery, it had been raining, but it was, again, it's kind of weirdly fun to do those things.
Did you see me like shoot off the side of the car and land on my ass? Yes! I have a big wet stain on my butt.
Riding a little scooter around, you think that's fun until you're like, well, you're not just bopping around sightseeing. I'm supposed to be like coming in and taking turns, and I'm in heels on cobblestone, so even when I try to stop, my feet are going all over the place.
The girl that dumped that BMW moped today for us, her name is Timea Bardi. She's the Hungarian national motocross champion. We went looking far and wide for a good riding double, and she's the one who did the whole chase, jumped the bike, did split traffic. A real gem, a real good find.
Hello, I'm Melissa McCarthy, and these are my lovely, bionic, amazing stunt doubles because I really just sit around. It takes all 3 of us just to make up for my shortcomings.
Oh, you have no
shortcomings. And then I just stand up and go, and I look like I've done a stunt.
Especially special effects team has built a little fake road, which you'll notice is raised up by the way we shoot it, and special effects and our digital team will make it look like it's part of the road, and basically we filled it with some sort of sludge that is basically cement that won't dry. You have no idea the months of planning that went into this one joke, so if you didn't laugh at that joke, god damn it, you just wasted all of our time.
It's the first time that I've seen a director get so involved doing stunts, especially for a comedy movie. Like usually when we're doing action films, they like to pretend that they're a part of it, but they don't actually jump into stunts as far as what the stunt people do. And Paul has done it on a number of occasions of wanting to be thrown into mats or falling or being part of the team. So yeah, it's been a really cool experience having a director that's willing to do the things that we do.
Really? Let's roll. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1, action. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Come on. What a boss! What a boss! What a boss! Hell yeah. This one. That was amazing.